Today's video, I'm going to be updating the controller SUPERGLIDE method. I'm gonna be going in depth with it just because this is the one I get the most comments on. I will be adding channel memberships to the channel, so if you want some direct help, you can. Just like how I do. And the controller SUPERGLIDE, it's gonna bring you to a drive link. Let's click download. You're gonna need a WinRAR. You're gonna want to extract your folder to your desktop. In this case, it's the 4 files. In these 4 files, you have the auto exec. And you have SUPERGLIDE 1, SUPERGLIDE 2, SUPERGLIDE 3. Auto exec, just make sure that it's actually running. If you find that like nothing's working at all, like it's not even jumping when you press the button, this is probably the problem. Usually it's like a .cfg or like it's misspelled here. SUPERGLIDE 1 is the activator on keyboard. When I press F, it's gonna make me jump. And that's gonna activate your mouse wheel down so that in the next SUPERGLIDE, it's gonna set your FPS to 30 on the mouse wheel down scroll, and the next file is going to set your FPS to 300, and then it's going to duck for you as well as jump. All this happens in like a split second. You really won't notice it. What you want to do, find wherever your game is installed. I'm just going to go to library, right click my game, click manage, and then click browse local files, then CFG, and I'm going to drag these files in there. Once that's in your the right folder, I'm going to go to your game in Steam, and then all I'm going to put in here is plus exec auto exec. Do not put .cfg. And once we're in game, all you want to do is press the button that you set into SUPERGLIDE 1. Button for me was F. You see when I press F, I jump. This is crucial. If it's not jumping for you, it just means you messed up on the auto exec part, whether it's like a misspell or it's not working in the launch options. And make sure you have VSync off. After pressing the button that makes you jump, this is how you start every SUPERGLIDE. So every time I go up to a wall, I jump. Your very next scroll is going to set your game to 30 FPS, and then it's going to put you back. Just emulate this on controller. So when I have one key on your controller, press the F button, and then one key on your controller. Replicate the scroll wheel. If you don't see controller layout or anything of that when you right click it, then you need to go into big picture mode, go to settings, go to controller, and then you need to enable the seam input for your specific controller. For me it's PlayStation, but for you it might be Xbox, whatever. Then you just want to exit big picture mode, and once you're back in Steam, you'll now see it. So we need to use 2 buttons. I like to use my jump button as the activation, but I jump with left trigger, so then I set my left trigger to F key. If you use something like A, you would then need to go to settings, add extra command, keyboard, F. You can use any key you really want, but it might interfere with certain aspects of your game. So instead of regular press, I change it to quarter press, or it says button chord. All it is that for that F key button to work, you have to be pressing another button. It can really be anything, but you got to remember that you have limited buttons on a controller. For this, I'm going to put left stick click in, hold to repeat turbo, and I put it on the lowest, just so that it actually activates. I don't think you need to do this, but this just makes sure that the F key activates every time you press the button. Now we need a button to emulate the scroll wheel. I use my D-pad, the down D-pad. All you want to do is change the binding to scroll wheel down, and then you want to change it to long press. Inside the settings, hold to repeat turbo is on, and both the sliders at minimum. Now that we're back in game, see if I hold left stick click and then press X, it jumps. You can see it's working because it auto jumps when I hold it versus if I just hold it regularly. That's because I don't use X to jump, use L2. This is the quarter press function. You don't have to use it, so if you don't have it on, it'll just work normally. Every time I press this button now, it's gonna activate the SUPERGLIDE, let's say. Now you just want to use the scroll wheel part. For me, my scroll wheel is on the touchpad, so down on the D-pad. There's still timing to it, so I'm still have to come up here, and then I have to time up the jump. So I have to time the scroll wheel down to when I'm at the peak of the object. So there's still timing involved, just like a normal SUPERGLIDE. It's just a lot easier because it changes the bind to like 1 button, and it changes your FPS down. A lot of people consider CFGs and that like cheating. It's unbannable. I come from CSGO where like everyone has a CFG and it's like meant to be edited. I think the responsibility shouldn't be on the players, even though you can say like, oh yeah, I'm a cheater or whatever. If these things weren't possible, no one would use it. So like if these things were kind of patched, you weren't able to like bind multiple things, you could like combat this, I guess, in a sense. But if you put the, you know, the responsibility on the player to not do it, even if I don't do it or you don't do it, you know, someone else will. I feel like that's something like you gotta understand. Like if you don't cheat, like someone else is going to cheat. I'm not trying to justify cheating. I just believe, you know what I'm saying, like on the scope of cheating, if you would say, this is definitely not, you know, number one. It's pretty much the video. Please don't comment if you haven't watched the whole video. Why would I say this at the end of the video? I know regardless, you know what I'm saying, someone is still gonna comment, like, you know what I'm saying, there's people that still skip through the videos. Please watch the video, you know what I'm saying. There will be fixes in here. I have tried to explain it a lot more. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Consider subscribing if you are new, and I will see you in the next video.